Hello and welcome back to the Holistic Ritual. If it is your first time here, I'm so glad you found your way here. I'm your host, Kamela Celeste. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate your presence and your grace during this pause over the past holiday season.
You're listening to The Holistic Ritual, a podcast for holistic health-minded humans seeking mind, body, spirit well-being. Hosted by Kamela Celeste, IIN holistic health coach, former personal trainer, and meditation guide. With over a decade of experience guiding transformation and whole person healing, you're invited into the practice of guided meditations, affirmation readings, and spiritual insights through a holistic wellness lens. Blending ancient wisdom with modern science, this space supports you in releasing, renewing, and reconnecting with your inner wisdom. Cultivating a sanctuary you can return to each week as your own holistic ritual. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
This episode today does mark all of the post-holidays after a season of rest, and personally a season of grief for me. And I'll touch on that in just a second. The new year came around and I almost forgot it was the new year, new me, time to get all the resolutions down. It all just kind of went over my head. And I think it's because I've just felt a bit numb lately. So I wanted to share today in a very grounded, a very intentional, and also a very honest way. And as the title says, today's episode is about 2026 vision and how to commune with your higher self so that we can get on the timeline of what you want the end of 2026 to look like. And we'll be talking about vision boards and other ways to get on the timeline of your future self to align you for this new year. And more than all of those things, all of the tools to help you do that, all of the ways in which you are envisioning this, it's also about how we move forward at a pace that honors our nervous systems, at a pace that honors our lived experiences, and at a pace that doesn't abandon the parts of us that are still tender. Holidays can mean a lot of things for a lot of people. They can be very joyful, but also be filled with the opposite of that, or with the and of that, joy and grief, which is very much how my holidays were spent. So before we talk about goals or vision or the future, I just want to name something that's been really real for me. This past holiday season included the loss of my sweet, precious 4-year-old baby kitty, Sagan, on December 16th after a terrible battle of seizure after seizure and seeing the neurologist, getting her opinion that he likely had brain lymphoma. My sweet baby angel died in my arms, and I am so happy and so lucky that I got to be there when he went. And another reason why I've been, I guess, hesitating to record this episode is because if you have watched the episodes, you know that the boys usually like to play in the background. Sagan was usually napping, or him and Kylo were chasing each other, and just the emptiness that I am feeling and likely will feel as I'm editing this video back, and it might just be a little bit quieter than normal. If you are a pet owner, you know that they aren't just pets. They are a constant presence, a comfort, a witness to so many different chapters of our lives and so many different versions of ourselves. And they heal us in so many different ways than we really know. We are so lucky to have such pure souls in our lives for however long that we do get with them. This grief for me has had a way of just slowing down time, of rearranging my priorities, and reminding me that productivity is never the point. Presence is. And to just have been present with my little boy the last few weeks of his life, and going through my camera roll and just seeing how much he was loved. And I have a whole album now dedicated to him to look back on whenever I am ready for it. And while my sweet little Sagan isn't physically here with me anymore, I still feel him as a presence now. I guess it's just, I feel him as protection. I feel him as guidance. And I know that he is a part of my spirit team now. I share this because grief doesn't mean we stop envisioning the future. I think it just means we begin to envision it more honestly and envision it with a little less permanence. For people, places, things end. And with that in mind, it is also what makes the time with people, with places in certain chapters so much more special. So, if you have ever loved an animal, if you've ever cared for an animal, and you've lost them, I'm so sorry you relate. And I'm so sorry that you know the anguish that comes with them being gone, especially if you were their main caretaker every single day. I miss him so much. I miss him every day. It's been insanely hard, and I will not pretend that it hasn't. Have I been distracted? Sure. I think I am so lucky to have the friends and family and support that I have in order to keep me distracted and keep me busy and to help me move forward and not stuck in my own sadness for longer than I need to be. I'm also recovering from a cold, so on top of not wanting to eat or exercise or record episodes for you, I'm also recovering from that. My voice might be a little nasally today. We're going to see how this meditation goes later, and I know I'll be okay. And I am trying to feel it all as it comes. I've watched so many YouTube videos on pet grief and how real it is, and that society likes to diminish pet grief, but it's, I think, different because they are such pure little souls, and we can't truly communicate with them in the sense that they can't talk to us and tell us, while, you know, a person who has had a very long life or who is very sick can always tell us, it's okay, I'm ready to go, and our pets cannot. So that, I think, is part of what makes it so hard to say goodbye to them. But just taking it day by day, trying to take it easy on myself. I'm doing a lot of yoga for grief, and I really am trying not to rush anything or trying to make up for anything or hop on all the New Year's resolution things, and just really take my time as I ease into this new year. That actually brings us to a great bridge. Energetically, we are actually still in the year of the snake. 2025 was absolutely testing. It asked so much more from me than I feel like previous years ever really have. I started the year off with severe health issues, thyroid issues, which I think I've spoken about before. And then in the middle of the year, I went through a breakup. Who I was in a relationship with this person for 2 years, and we lived together. So that was a big deal. And then, just as I thought everything was kind of beginning to settle again, and as there was some sense of normalcy, I lost Sagan very suddenly, very quickly. And the point of that is the snake is the creature that sheds its skin. It sloughs away all of the old, the dry, the what is meant to be shed in your life. And so with that theme of the whole year that we think about, the shedding of things, and thinking about the passing of a loved one or the passing of a beloved pet, of course that isn't a shedding that we want, but the version of ourselves that we needed to meet but we couldn't meet until we shed a former version of ourselves. And maybe this was the being naive to, or just forgetting that life is so precious, that we don't have an infinite amount of time here on this planet. And maybe that is part of the lesson that we are part of the shedding that we needed to shed away the illusion that we have forever, that we are immortal, but we really are not. So yeah, this is an energy that is about integration, wisdom, shedding old skins, and tending to our nervous system. The snake, if you think about how a snake moves in nature, it's quiet, it's discerning, it's not rushed. They move in a way that is almost like, in translation of themes, it's like we need to move and go with the ripples and the flows of life, whatever it brings for us. And then I know there has been a lot of talk on socials, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube about how 2026 is the year of the fire horse, and that is very much true. It's the year of the double fire horse. But the fire horse year in Chinese New Year doesn't officially begin until mid-February. And so we are still in the year of the snake, and with all of the themes of the fire horse energy, that double fire horse energy, it's movement, visibility, courage, action. So a little bit different than this past year of taking things a little bit slower and learning some hard lessons and going through some really hard things. But without grounding, fire can burn out, and it can burn us out. So this year is asking us to move, yes, but it's asking for aligned action that your body agrees with, action that your nervous system can sustain, and action that feels rooted in your soul and not pressure. Compare contrast from 2025 to 2026. Last year may have felt like a heavy weight or blanket, and this year will feel like that is being removed from you. The weight is being removed from you. You now have the energy, the will, the drive to do all of these things that you want to accomplish for this year. So right now is the runway leading up to the race. We have not started things yet, so that's might be why it doesn't feel like, all right, let's go get them now, as some other years have maybe felt. And then framing this from an astrological standpoint, Aries season is officially the start of the new year astrologically. So we're still in like a threshold period where we have until late in March where we are just building up to that momentum that is about to snowball us down the hill and into springing us into action. So energy will naturally accelerate. Things will move a bit faster. The new year always happens in the dead of winter. January is the dead of winter. And what does winter signify to us as a species, as mammals? It is hibernation time. It is nest. It is coziness, warmness to counter the cold outside. So New Year always comes during a really cold and sleepy time, which is so interesting how the Western calendar is set up like that. If the time right now feels like you still want to keep planning, you still want to feel some things out, definitely lean into that. And if it feels right for you, you can start making a vision board if you haven't already. I know some people are on it. They have it ready and made by January 1st, which if you do, props to you. That is usually me personally. I had just done a lot of traveling this year around the holidays, so I did not get on it before. And of course, going through the loss of my little Sagan really put a lot of my New Year's, the end of year kind of thing, wrapping up and starting a new year. It just didn't feel the same for me. And then remembering that right now, throughout this year, while we do have all this momentum and energy and action and drive and motivation to move forward, take this year as a marathon. Use all of your drive and energy to put these things into action at a marathon pace. Don't put it in overdrive from the get-go and you burn out from the start. Want to really be thinking about things and breaking down things and looking at them from the bigger perspective so that we do have the time and energy and will that will last us all throughout the year to get everything we want accomplished. And just because a new year happens, New Year doesn't need to be your trigger for starting all of these things, starting new goals and projects. You can literally start them anywhere, anytime. And you don't have to go with the rest of the flow of society saying everything must begin on January 1st. So just a quick little reminder. Before we get into our talk about vision boards as a ritual for us, I'm going to do a couple card pulls and today just read them together so that we can get through this because there's a lot of material to get through today. And so lay of the land going forward, we will have our card draw. We'll talk about vision boards as a ritual. We will also talk about action boards, how they are different, and then the different categories that I personally build out on my vision board each year and why they are important to me, just to give you some inspiration. And then we will go into our guided meditation, of course, as usual. Okay, today I ask my spirit team, my spirit guides, to bring forth any messages the collective needs to hear at the moment. And I'm also going to draw, I guess I should have filled you in first. I'm drawing one card from Magical Messages to accompany our Work Your Light deck from Rebecca Campbell. I have thought about you the whole entire time over this break. And every time I wanted to record, I just kept saying, I cannot do it. But I did think about you the whole time, and I am just happy to be back now, even though we are in the middle of January pretty much. It's January 12th, but better late than never. And as I was just yapping on about, it's still the dead of winter, so we have time. Okay, let's see what messages need to come forward. Oop. Okay, so 2 of the Work Your Light cards popped out today. I'm actually not going to read from the guidebook today. I am going to put together this reading based on these 2 cards, which if you can see them, they are beautiful. We have Break the Chain and Soul Family. And then this cute little Bumblebee Sunflower card. So the first message we have is, your energy is exclusive and expansive. Remember, it is a privilege to be in your presence. Then we also have Break the Chain, Ancestral Patterns, Healing, Rewriting the Future. Perfect for us today. And then we have Soul Family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it all alone. Okay, so let's walk through this as if it is setting the tone for this new year. This new year, you're going to have a lot of opportunities and social events and lots of things, lots of different people coming into your life. And it is important to remember to be discerning with your time, to be discerning with the different people that are coming into your life. Not everybody deserves your time, your energy. And in order to keep your energy expanding and expansive, your time is so precious. And where you spend it is going to be so precious to keep you in that expansive state. And then remembering it is a privilege to have access to you. So whoever is coming into your life, whatever opportunities are coming into your life, definitely remember that you are such a addition and such a treat for these spaces and these places and these people to be with you. And then we have leaning on your soul family, leaning on your tribe. If things get hard or if things you seem to find yourself in a bit of an isolation period, just remember that you always have your soul family and your soul tribe and your spiritual team to guide you and hold you, to lean on them when is needed, especially in order to heal so that you can step into this future version of you, the version of you that is meant to expand this year. So thinking about not only healing yourself, letting other people hold you when you need it, but also thinking about where you come from and your ancestors and everything that they have done and gone through to support you and where you are right now today in your journey and where you are going to be in the future in 2026. And doing all of this, being discerning with your time, healing yourself, leaning on your soul family, those are the specific things that are going to get you through this year, and not just get you through this year, but are going to help you thrive and flourish throughout the whole year. Okay, that is our cute spiritual guidance today. And if you liked that style instead of pick a card, I would love to know. Okay, you guys like how I used my sunglasses as a headband today? I need to get one of those like actual headbands. They just mimic what your sunglasses do for your hair. Okay, anyways, ADHD tangents. Vision boards as a ritual. This is our meat and potatoes cute little lesson today. I want to talk about them, but not in like a surface level way of like, I'm going to slap all of these images on a board and hope that everything just comes true. A vision board is not about outcomes necessarily. It is a ritual to me personally. I see vision boards as an act of communication with your future self, with your higher self. It is helping to align you with the version of you that already exists further down this timeline. And when you create a vision board intentionally, you are saying, let me merge timelines with my higher self. Let's get on the same wavelength. And so as a person with ADHD, as I was just going on a tangent about my freaking sunglasses, something I have learned is that vision boards work best when they include 3 different elements for each goal or category. And we can go over the categories. So for my vision board specifically, let me pull her up. For my vision board specifically, I focus on 8 different categories. So I have physical, emotional, financial, spiritual, career, travel, intellectual, and relationships. These are what is important to me and how I want to structure my year out. You do not have to use all of those categories. Definitely tailor the categories to what feels good and what you feel resonates with you the best, because different things are going to be important to different people. So the 3 things that your vision board should have, no matter what categories you put on it, are first, you need an outcome. So once you have your categories set out, and then within those categories, I have posted images of not only goals for these different categories, but I have photos of the outcome. So what does that goal look like when it's existing in your reality? And this is helping you to align with the future version of you, is to already have images of what the outcome of these goals is going to be, because that is where your future self already is. Secondly, you're going to need a photo of the everyday work that is going to go into this goal. What does your life look like daily, weekly, monthly, while you are in the process of getting to where you want to be with this goal? And thirdly is evidence, proof that it's already happening, the embodiment of the goal. So, for example, in my career space, I have an outcome image, which is the visibility and the reach for the show. And then the everyday action is me editing, creating, showing up online. And then the evidence is me literally speaking into a microphone, connecting with people, being seen, being witnessed. And then another example is for my physical goals, to not just include the end result. So maybe you are wanting a specific physical outcome, like I want my hormones to be balanced. I want to have this specific physical body goal be manifested. So let's say I'm wanting to put on a little bit more muscle. So I would include things that don't just mirror the outcome. So the outcome would be like, I have photos of myself whenever I was a little bit more muscular on there. If you can put images of yourself on your vision board, it's even better because it's you've already done it, so you can do it again. Or if you put photos of people on your vision board, I will always crop out their head or just leave like their lips or their face, like crop out their faces entirely, or even just like put black bars over their faces so that you don't get that image in your head of another person. You envision it as yourself because there's no faces to go along with it. So yeah, for physical goals, I want to put on a little bit more muscle. I would include things like photos of me walking, lifting weights, eating nourishing food, doing Pilates, and then also words to align with these goals. So things like comfort, ease, confidence, any type of like one word or one phrase that is also going to be either a part of the outcome, action, or evidence, putting that in that space as well, so that when you look at your vision board every day, which you should look at your vision board every day, I think the recommended amount of time based on like neuroscience or something is looking at your vision board for 1 minute every day. And this matters because your nervous system needs to believe what you are trying to call in. And then something else to note is I know a lot of people, when they make vision boards, they're hesitant to put certain things on there because it's like, well, I don't know if this is the right person. I don't know if this is the right job. I don't know if this is blah, blah, blah. This is another important truth. Your vision board can change. They are not contracts that you are signing. They are living, breathing documents that are editable at any point in time throughout the year. I have made a vision board for almost every single year for the past several years. And it is so shocking to me how 80 to 95% of everything that I put on there comes to fruition when I am looking at it every single day for a minute a day. And if you skip a day or something, like you should be looking at it as often as you can, at least once daily. But it's not like you're going to block your blessings if you skip a couple days in a row or something. But yes, the point is that life sometimes shifts. Sometimes relationships end, priorities change. You're allowed to edit it. You're allowed to refine. You're allowed to release what you no longer want. Maybe you have climb a 14er on your vision board. It's definitely not on my vision board, but maybe it's on your vision board. And maybe halfway through the year, you realize, I don't really want to do that. That's totally okay too. The purpose of a vision board is alignment. Alignment matters more than attachment. So seeing your vision board as a living document that can change at any point. And if your goals do change, it's definitely important to update your vision board. So when you are looking at it, whatever no longer aligns with you or whatever you want to add to it, it gets put into your system and your nervous system recognizes it, your higher self recognizes it, so that it can be something that you begin to align with. Or you don't waste your energy and efforts and your manifestation powers trying to throw it into the mix if it needs to be removed. And then, how should you make a vision board? Should it be digital? Should it be physical? That is honestly going to be up to you and whatever form is going to get you to look at it every single day. So When making your vision board, if you haven't made one already, or if you made one and you're like, I just put something together really fast, if you want to remake it, remember that this is a sacred ritual. Light a candle, put on some frequency music, some 432 hertz or some high frequency guru in the background, and literally, you can begin by writing a letter to your future self of what you have accomplished this year. So you'll make it as in present tense as everything has already happened. And then using that letter to be able to architect all of the images and things that you need. And then once you do make your vision board, burning your letter to release it to the universe, to say, this is my offering to you, universe. This is what I would like to align with and manifest this year. Or you can do what I do. I still do the whole ritualistic process of it, but I make mine digitally because I have my phone with me every day. I have my laptop with me every day as I work a 9 to 5. So those are the spaces that I am the most because of how my lifestyle moves and operates. Maybe you're not a desk worker and maybe you want to make a physical one and put it in your car or put it on the ceiling in your bedroom, or maybe put it in your child's room if you are going in there to nurse them. And while you are nursing them, you can look at it for 1 minute while you are doing that. Really, the 1 minute viewing of it daily is what really matters. And taking your time for each category and really looking at every single image on there and remembering why you chose it, why you put it on there. So being very intentional when you are choosing these things. And I also like to kind of do like little mini meditations as I choose each image. And I'll close my eyes and I will envision exactly the image that I have, almost as if it's already happened in my head. So doing a bit of visualization, a bit of firework and burning that letter, and then future architecting with writing the letter and doing the whole vision board. And then there's also something that I have recently started doing alongside my vision board, which is an action board. And the way I like to describe it is, if the vision board is your map for the year, the action board is your compass. You don't technically need a compass to get to where you're going if you have the map. You can still navigate the map without a compass, but the compass can help you orient yourself. It can help you get there faster, to recenter yourself, to course correct, because while you are navigating your vision board without a compass, maybe sometimes you get a little lost, but sometimes getting lost is what actually brings you clarity that you couldn't access otherwise if you hadn't gotten lost. So for me, the action board is a monthly, weekly thing to check in with myself. And this is kind of like, some people might be like, that is overkill. And that's okay. I'm just a Capricorn rising. I'm just a Capricorn moon and stellium, and I need my order. I need to check in with myself. I need my to-do list to see, am I making progress? But when you are checking in with this action board, it's important not to judge yourself, not to put pressure on yourself, and just to ask, does this still feel aligned? So it can also help you to revisit these questions to see if your vision board does need refining in the second quarter or the second half of the year. Does this still feel aligned? What's one supportive step forward I need to take? So it's just to be used as a tool and not a rule. And basically how I use the action board is to break down things. So like categorizing everything out, let's say physical this month for this action board in the month of January, what does my physical goals, what does my daily processes need to be in order to get to where I want to go with my physical goals? In terms of my intellectual goals, what do I need to be doing every day or every month or by the end of the month to make sure that I am reaching my intellectual goals? So, for example, last year I had read 15 books, or read 10 books last year. I upped it to 15 this year. So on my action board under January, and then under my intellectual category, I would put read 20 minutes a day every at least 5 days a week or something. So putting real numbers and specifics down. So it isn't just a bunch of pretty pictures. It's actually how you're going to get there. And I know for some people, vision boards might not resonate with you. And if you had to sit through all this, or if you did sit through all of this to listen to my vision board spiel, my action board spiel, that is okay. You can also make like a mini board for just one area of your life. So if you only wanted to focus on spirituality, or if you only wanted to focus on career, if there's like one specific category in your life that you're like, this area needs an overhaul this year, you can also do that too. Or you can skip the vision board entirely and just do the letter to your future self ritual and meditating on the different mental images from writing that letter to really envision yourself doing that. And another way to do that is to read the future self letter and not burn it, to read it every day. And then when you are reading it, lighting a candle for your future self to honor your future self and your past self and your spirit team is a really beautiful way to do that as well. Okay, I'm going to take us through a little sound cleanse before we get into our meditation, just to cleanse everything, to ground us, and to know that we are about to start the meditation. And I will also ding the chime at the end of the meditation so you can fully relax during the meditation, even if there are some long pauses. Today's meditation is all about aligning with becoming. So take a moment to just arrive in this space. A moment to take the edge off of the day if it was a long or heavy day. And just fully stepping into your body, finding a comfortable position, seated or lying down. Any posture that is going to allow yourself to be supported. And just feel the weight of your body as it rests into the surface beneath you. And letting gravity do all the work. And if you haven't already, you can close your eyes or just rest your gaze. And taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose, feeling the expansion through your rib cage in all directions. And then exhaling gently through your mouth. And one more time, inhaling through the nose as your rib cage expands fully in all directions. And then letting all of the air out through your mouth. And bring your awareness to your feet. And gently tensing the muscles here, just enough to feel your presence. Hold for a few seconds. And then release that tension completely. Notice the warmth, the softness that follows. Moving your attention up into your calves. Tensing them. And then releasing them. Letting the muscles melt. And moving up towards your thighs. Tensing your thighs. And then releasing the tension, softening them fully. Now focusing on your hips and your pelvis. And this is a space where we tend to hold on to so much history. And gently tense your pelvis, your hips, and releasing. Allow your breath to deepen. Now bracing your belly. Tensing it and releasing it. Noticing your hands, curling them into soft fists, holding the tension, and then releasing, and letting your fingers just open naturally. Moving up towards your chest, your shoulders, your upper back. Lifting your shoulders towards your ears, tensing them, and releasing. And finally noticing your face, softening your jaw, releasing any tension in between your eyebrows. And just let your expression return to a nice neutral. And by doing this, tensing and releasing, your body naturally wants to relax. And your mind follows. The breath slows. And your thoughts begin to quiet. This is the space where intuition lives, where creativity flows, and where alignment begins. And in this moment, I invite you to gently call in your support, inviting your spirit guides, those who walk with you beyond time, inviting your ancestors, those whose lives made yours possible. And you may also invite any animal guides, the protecting, loving energies who offer wisdom and companionship. You don't need to see them clearly, just simply sense their presence. Feel yourself surrounded, held, watched over. And from this grounded place, allowing yourself to sense something you are moving towards. Something that is beginning to unfold over the next few months, over this year. Not demanding anything, not putting pressure, just looking inside yourself of what you already know to be true. What you've already seen for yourself. Notice this vision, this version of you. Can you clearly picture yourself and what it feels like to have achieved all that you want this year, to have accomplished a certain goal, to finished a certain project. Notice how this vision of you feels in your body. How is your breath responding? How has your energy shifted? And as you envision yourself at the end of this month, the end of this year, let all those sensations of what it actually feels like for the future you to be your reality. What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you hear? What do you feel? And what do you see as this future version of yourself? A future version of yourself appears, already living what you are gently preparing for. Notice how you carry yourself, how grounded you feel, how at home in your own body you are. Because this version of you already exists. You are not chasing them. You are remembering yourself. Let the emotional truth of this version settle into your soul. And taking a few expansive, deep breaths to seal this vision of yourself in. You don't need to rush. Every small step, every pause, each moment that you listen to your intuition, it's already a part of the path. Your guides walk beside you. Your ancestors stand behind you. You are never doing this alone. Breathing in deeply, allowing your breath to help you trust in this version of you and anchor this image within you. And when you feel ready, begin to invite some movement back into your body. Slowly curling your fingers in and out. Slowly rocking your body from side to side. And bringing your awareness back into the room. Feeling the surface beneath you. Noticing how your breath is. And when it feels right, you can gently open your eyes. And taking a moment here to offer gratitude to your body, to your breath, and to the version of you who continues to become. You are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for being here today. I am so happy to be back here with you and to be resuming in 4-week sprints. I'm going to try my very best to continue 4 weeks in a row. I don't know how grief is going to be affecting me going forward. I do always post updates to my YouTube channel and to my Threads account and to my Instagram story if you are following along anywhere there for when new episodes are coming out and if there is going to be any delay. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for allowing me to share my story, my heartbreak, my grief with you. And if I can talk with you about any of this, you can always reach out to me on any platform. And I would be honored to just be a listening ear. Next, I am really excited to talk about some of the astrology in depth. I know we have quite the ride this past week on the 6th or the 7th. We had a Venus Cazimi in Capricorn, which is very, very interesting and auspicious, especially if you are a Capricorn rising or a Capricorn. This is your season. It's very Capricorn heavy. I know we didn't really talk much about the astrology during this episode, but it is already a very lengthy episode. So I'm excited to dig a little bit deeper into that next time that I am with you. If you didn't see over on my Substack, I have put out a winter solstice ritual for you to do. You can still do that as we are still in winter. And I am looking forward to these days getting longer and the sun not setting as soon. That will really help with my mental health, especially at this day that it is in lately. Anyways, I digress. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today, for practicing this ritual with me today. And if you do make a vision board, I would love to see it. If you want to tag me wherever you are, I am pretty much on every platform. And thank you, especially to align yourself with the future version of you. I hope it helped to really spark the embodiment of the future self that is unfolding for you in this new year. Happy 2026 or whatever new year you are listening to this. And I will see you in the next one. I'm your host, Kamela Celeste, signing off.